What's happening, everyone? TomGorian here, and welcome back to another last to first challenge on F1 25, with the second of the 3 United States races this weekend being the Circuit of the Americas. I thought it'd be a good idea to do a last to first challenge around the Circuit of the Americas driving Charles Leclerc's Ferrari. Considering he won the race here last year, and considering that Ferrari do need a win this season, apparently the track difficulties aren't easy, but this is one of the harder tracks on F1 25 with no line. So we are back with the last first challenge. If you don't know the point of this series, the series is starting a 25 lap race, 25% race last, and seeing how far I can go up the field and try to win the race. I don't think I've won any races so far on the last first challenge. We're going to go 104 difficulty, no damage, actually 103 difficulty, pretty much one shot quality to start at the back, short race distance. We're going to go with dynamic weather, realistic start time for the session. For the rules and flags, we're going to go regular corner cutting because this track is very, very difficult for corner cutting, and then no damage. So let's do this.
Welcome to Texas, where we have had approximately 120,000 race fans flocking through the gates to attend this year's United States Grand Prix. They're excited, we're excited. I hope you're excited too. It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside of the great city of Austin. This is a 3.6 mile lap with 20 corners, 10 to the left and 10 to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Fernando Alonso completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg and Gasly, Hadjar, Bortoleto, Verstappen and Oscar Piastri, Lawson, Norris, Yuki Tsunoda and Antonelli, Albon, Doohan, Ollie Behrman and Lance Stroll. Ocon and Charles Leclerc completes today's grid order. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me, bringing glamour and expertise to our commentary today, Naomi Schiff. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check, okay.
So, last to first around COTA, this is the setup that I'm going to be running. Just a bit of a reduction on the wings. We're going to go 32.28 for the wings. Just try and get some oversteer, especially, or over rotation, especially in towards Sector 2 and Sector 3. High tire pressures, I went 41.8 on the suspension, and I think I've also went, I think it's like 37.40 on the ride height. But here we go, driving a Charles Leclerc last to first around COTA, and here we go for the last to first challenge. I believe this is the 5th last to first challenge on F1 25. We're going to be taking the cautious approach as we dive down the inside of a couple of drivers, and yeah, as you saw in the sprint race yesterday, this is a very awkward corner as we go down the hill in towards turn 2, and now in towards the S section. If you're in the midfield, this is going to be a very difficult sequence of corners here, and as you can see, I made contact there with I believe that is Alex Albon, climbing in towards the double right hand and now turning left as we go up the hill once again. Change camber, trying to go around the outside of Esteban Ocon there, but no doing there. We're already up into 16th place as we now enter, I believe that is turn number 9. We're going to try and go around the outside of Tsunoda and also Esteban Ocon there. We get a good switchback, early shift in towards third gear for better traction, and now it's just a drag race between me, the Haas, and the Red Bull of Yuki Tsunoda as we climb in towards the back straight, in towards the hairpin. as well. Brake at pretty much 130 meters in towards second gear, and then early shift into third for rotation, well, for traction there. But we didn't get a good start there. So now as we end the first lap, as we now dive down the inside of Liam Lawson, heading in towards the final corner, and we've already made 8 positions on the end of the first lap. So yeah, that's a good start for us in the Ferrari. Now on towards lap 2, we've got Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri in the end of the top 10 as we absolutely rear-end the Australian there. And yeah, Oscar and Lando 10th and 11th in this race. In the actual race, they'll start 2nd and 6th respectively. So yeah, Max is still on a roll after getting the sprint pole position, the sprint win, and now he's on the actual pole position for the race today when this video goes up live. We're going to overtake Oscar Piastri around the outside in towards the hairpin, in towards second gear. We're going to leave him some room there, not do what George Russell and Max Verstappen did in the sprint race and just go completely wide. And yeah, we overtake the Australian of Oscar Piastri, heading in towards this very awkward triple left-hander there, where you have to watch out for the front left as far as just braking is concerned, and just the rear end. It's a very slow corner. But now lap 4, Max Verstappen is our next target. We're going to dive bomb him just like how George Russell did in towards second gear. However, this time we're going to make the corner with all 4 wheels, and yeah, that's how you overtake Max Verstappen, George Russell. Yeah, take some notes, Georgie boy. However, we're also going to take some notes from I believe that's Kimi Antonelli, who overtook Ollie Behrman in the sprint race, as we overtake Nico Hülkenberg for 8th place. And now with DRS, we're going to open up and overtake Pierre Gasly for P6. So in around about 5 laps on 1 and 3, we went from last to P6 in this race. So you can probably see Hamilton's in the lead, followed by, I believe that's George Russell in second. And speaking of Hamilton, he boxes on the end of lap 6. We are on the medium tyres, so we are doing the opposite strategy. We are going mediums and then softs for this 25% race. Hamilton has boxed, and now we are in second place. Alonso is still in the lead as we come in towards the final penultimate corner, go a little bit wide there, but I think Alonso will box this lap, and then because Alonso has boxed, we will take the lead of this United States Grand Prix. So now we have to try and push now in clean air, slightly again go a little bit wide on the white lines. But now on towards the end of lap 8, we are in for our one and only stop from the mediums to the hard, no, not hards, the mediums to the soft compound for this race. So let's see where we are going to be. I think Bortoletto is now leading. Hülkenberg is second. Hülkenberg's boxing. Hülkenberg's boxing, so now it's only Bortoletto now that needs to stop now. So we are now in towards P6, and now we need to try and somehow get onto the podium. I don't think we can win this race because Russell and also Hamilton are so far away. But as we absolutely send it on Carlos Sainz there, we do the fast lap of the race of 36.3. So yeah, not really a bad fast lap there here in COTA. But now we're all over Isaac Hadjar there for 4th place. And yeah, DRS, he will have DRS as well from Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. He goes defensive in towards the hairpin. We're going to brake at pretty much 140 meters down towards second gear. Traction, hopefully third gear, there it is. And we do have the outside line, straighten up the car for the next corner. And there we go, P4 here in COTA. From last to 4th place, this has been a great race here. And now as we begin lap number 13, our tyres are starting to die as we get a yellow flag on the end of lap 13. I believe that is Isaac Hadjar. I think he's retiring because of an engine issue. However, we're going to send it down inside in towards turn 1 there. We do make the apex stick though in towards third gear, and that is a clean overtake for third place onto the podium. And we've overtaken Fernando Alonso as Lewis Hamilton wins the United States Grand Prix, replicating what he did in 2015 and also in 2019 as well. However, for us, we are going to come home in 3rd place, and it's not from last, it's last to 3rd.
Well, I think there wasn't anything more. Again, for this race, we maximized absolutely everything. Yeah.
And extending his already record-breaking winning record, it's Lewis Hamilton to the line for victory.
And But it's one thing to win, but to win like that in total dominant style, that was a fantastic drive, and it is not one that we see very often.
Only 3 can take to the podium, and here they come. It's a familiar sight in Formula One, and here it is once again. Lewis Hamilton with the trophy held high, celebrating a masterful victory.
So Lewis Hamilton wins this last to first challenge here in COTA, and for us, last to P3, not really bad. Maybe I could have gained more positions if I started on the soft tyres. However, yeah, Hamilton and George Russell were simply in another league of their own, and hopefully one of those other two can get onto the podium for the race this weekend. It would be great to see Hamilton back onto the podium this season. He hasn't really had a good season as the 7-time world champion, but yeah, hopefully Leclerc and Hamilton can get onto the podium this weekend. But yeah, that is that for another episode of the F125 Last to First Challenge. P3 in the end, only 8 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more F125 content, check out the playlist on the right hand side for all the Last to First challenges, and check out one of my other videos on the left hand side. Thanks for watching. If you smell what the Scouse one's cooking.